local people, important issues. CBS 10 WILM's weekly focus on the Lower Cape Fear region. This is Byline Wilmington with your host, Don Ansell.
Welcome to Byline Wilmington. I'm Rhonda Bellamy, substituting for Don Ansell. Some welcome news on the housing front this week. The Census Bureau reported a slight uptick in the home ownership rate between the second and third quarters, and rental vacancies are down. Are we over the housing hump here in southeastern North Carolina? We'll get the proverbial lay of the land with Craig Stevens, president of the Wilmington Cape Fear Home Builders Association. Also in to talk about residential, commercial, and rental properties is Karen Parkin, president of the Wilmington Regional Association of Realtors. Thank you both for joining me.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Let's start with you, Craig. Give us the lay of the land in terms of home building.
The lay of the land is obviously, I guess it's no surprise to anybody that sales have come down from the 2005 peaks where everybody knew the bubble and the bubble crashed in 2005. And a few numbers on that, what they call our three-county MSA, New Hanover, Brunswick, and Pender counties, we actually, at the peak, were at 5,000 new homes sold that year. And it has gone down to this year, it will probably be less than 1,000. And I would say 3,000 would be a normal market, all things considered. So definitely, sales are definitely down, but there is a market. 1,000 is still 1,000 houses sold. So, you know, us builders just have to, you know, do what we can do with 1,000 houses right now.
What are you seeing, Karen?
Well, it depends if you're on about the actual sales or if you're on about rentals. Sales are starting to pick up again. Obviously, we did have the bubble. 2005, we went down. Last year, we had the home buyer's credit, which did actually assist people. But our sales are not really that much down. We're predicting now that next year we're going to see an increase of 2.5%. And then in 2013, it'll be about 1.92%. So I feel like we've hit the bottom of where we're going to be in our market. But then again, I think Wilmington, North Carolina, we're very fortunate in our location. We have a lot more to offer than some communities and states. We have been blessed, I believe. We have great colleges here. We've got two. We've got Cape Fear here in New Hanover, and we've got UNCW. We've also got Brunswick. We have the beaches. We have the weather. We have the industry. We've got some great companies, Corning, PPD. So these are all draws. And now we're really excited with this movie that's coming into town. So our movie studios, we're going to be hopping next year.
According to the Census Bureau data that I referenced earlier, home ownership has almost plummeted among those that are in their 20s and 30s for the most part. They're seeing a stabilization of around 70% among older adults. Is that what we're seeing here as well?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We're seeing the bundling effect where you've got people in their 20s, you'll have 4 of them living in a 4-bedroom house and they're renting the house, or you've got the children that are adult children living with the parents or the grandparents living with the children. So you've got this bundling effect, and I think that's primarily due to lack of confidence right now. But again, when you see all that going on, you are building up pent-up demand. So I guess the light at the end of the tunnel is that as you see people buying fewer houses, people that really should be buying houses, eventually they're going to start buying, and there's going to be a lot of pent-up demand. So I think that's the plus side, and that's where you're going to see these numbers really coming back up.
Let's talk about the pent-up demand in terms of existing housing.
Well, like you said, the younger generation, I think there's a couple of issues there. Firstly, they're young, they're trying to see what's happening. They watch finances a whole lot better than we ever did. I mean, they're more geared. They're taught this in school and everything. And they don't know where the market's going. So they're kind of sitting there on the hedge, waiting to decide whether or not to jump or just wait. Secondly, with credit, a lot of people are actually don't know where their credit is, and they're kind of scared to ask. Or they see what's happening and they think that they're not going to qualify, but they will. So right now it's just a lack of information, or people just not too sure what to do. I think
Tentative.
that really is, they just don't know what to do. They're just watching everything and trying to hold on to their money and decide where they need to go.
Is that largely due to the economy?
I believe so, yeah.
And the scarcity of jobs?
Jobs, and I mean, we right now in the rental side of things, we're seeing, the biggest thing we're seeing is people that are losing jobs and ending up having to just walk in and hand in the keys. You know, instead of making you wait and go through an eviction process, last month, October, we had 3 cases where we had tenants just come in, give us the keys and say, we can't make the rent, we've lost our job, and we're moving on.
Well, Rhonda, the financing is one thing that she was talking about. I think a lot of people believe that there is no financing out there, but what we're seeing is actually we've got USDA financing in most of our communities that give you 100% financing with a 640 credit score. So people are getting financing. I had a good friend of mine, and I was asking, why are you renting? Why are you renting? You could be buying. He said, well, actually, I had a foreclosure in the past, but it was actually over 7 years ago. So I handed him the phone to a lender, called the lender up, found out that he could qualify, and literally 4 months later, he's in a brand new 2,000-foot, 4-bedroom house where he was renting a 2-bedroom house prior to that, and he had no idea he could, get a loan. So that's an exciting thing that people just don't know is available.
It's just too much negativity out there, and I think a lot of them are just too scared to ask.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Speaking of foreclosures, what are our numbers looking like here in southeastern North Carolina?
We're not too bad. I was looking, I wanted to say, you get me there, and I hadn't written it up here. Sorry, I'm on the wrong sheet.
If you're just tuning into Byline Wilmington, we're talking with Karen Park, and she is president of the Wilmington Regional Association of Realtors, and Craig Stevens, who is the president of the Wilmington Cape Fear Home Builders Association. We're just trying to get a snapshot of the local housing market, but we also want to get into commercial and property as well. Karen?
Well, in the foreclosures, they're saying it's 8.9%. Sadly, there is people losing their homes every day. A lot of them, they're going into this process, but some of them are trying to get assistance, and that is the best thing to do. But we're starting to see a drop in it. I don't think that we're going to be flooded. I really don't. As I said, our market here in Wilmington is different based on a lot of other markets in the area. And I mean, we're seeing some, but we're not seeing that many. It's not like you look in the listings and everything's in foreclosure. It's not.
I agree, 100%.
It's definitely not. It is a different market. And if you look at us at 8%, we see in Florida, Jacksonville, 31%. We see Orlando, Florida, 41.9%. San Jose, California, 22%. Tucson, Arizona, 30%. So, I mean, we're really in a good place when you base us on the rest of the country. We truly are. I believe Wilmington, we're up and coming. And like with us now, we've been in the process of putting up a new building for the Wilmington Regional Association of Realtors. It's 25,000 square feet, beautiful place. We're putting our money where our mouth is. We believe in this economy. We believe in this market. We believe in Wilmington. And already we've got a banquet facility on the top floor. We've got 60 bookings. The building's only been completed a month and we have 60 bookings. So activity is happening here in Wilmington.
Okay. And we're going to find out more about that right after this.